Welcome to the Marketing for the Culture podcast, powered by the African American Marketing Association. Each week, we'll bring you an insightful conversation from some of the best experts in our industry on how to advance our career. Join the collective of Black marketers across the world, advancing their brand as we work towards creating a collaborative community. Hey, good people. It is your host, Michelle Gomez, that will also be serving as your guest today. Now, I'm going to do a solo episode. I'm going to do a recap regarding the Marketing for the Culture Summit. As of right now, it's been 2 full weeks since we had the event. The event was in Houston, Texas from May 31st to Friday, June 2nd. So I'm going to dive into all of those details. I've had some bit of relaxation. As you can see, I'm very hesitant on saying that. I will say I haven't been stressed, which is a good thing, right? And I've been enjoying my days. I have a lot of good things going on. I'll probably get to that later, and it will kind of explain why I haven't been able to rest or take a quote unquote break. I will say this, it's always a tough battle to take a break when you have momentum. When you have good momentum, you can obviously enjoy your weekends, but that extended period to find that balance is really delicate, even if you do have a team. Speaking of team, I am so grateful to God off top. I'm also very, very grateful to my team, the AMA board, the conference committee, as well as the volunteers that contributed in making this event a success. I appreciate every one of you. Just your overall contribution from putting swag bags together, running the show the day of the event, whether you were doing registration or you were the coordinator, or you were printing out material, you were sending out emails to get volunteers. I appreciate each and every one of you. I thank you. This work is a lot, whether it's the association as a whole or the event. All of it is a lot of work. One person cannot do it by themselves. And that's why it's important to have a team. And team looks differently for everyone. But the most significant thing when it comes to having a team is fostering a spirit of collaboration. And I appreciate everyone that just believes in the organization, believes in the mission and the vision of what we're trying to create here. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So where do I begin? Man, so much. And I've been thinking about how I was going to address this for the past couple of weeks. This has always been a plan to do the event recap. I did not do one last year. And last year, my heart was just really heavy. I was in a bad place after the Atlanta event. And we had a great day, beautiful day, the day of the event. But it was just a lot of shit before and after that I was just in a bad place. And I wasn't able to even notice the good. Like, people tell you, and it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, in the moment, like, okay, this is good. This is good. But I specifically remember in Atlanta doing the closing remarks on the stage. And I said we were gonna do it in Houston. It's gonna be in Houston in 2023. And I was just like, how is this gonna get done? I had no clue on how this was gonna happen in Houston. And I was in a really bad place before and after the Atlanta event. And I don't think I crawled out of that bad place until maybe April of this year. Mind you, 6 to 8 weeks before the Houston event, because it was just so dark. So that can give you some backdrop in regards to Atlanta. Obviously, I'm not going into details as to what happened, but I definitely, because there was so many things went wrong. And I just had this feeling if I was at home, if I was in my backyard, things would go differently because I can tap into my people, my network, my resources. Obviously a better relationship and trust with those individuals. And I know where they live. I can knock on their door if I have to. I kid, I kid. Um, and yeah, it was, I had this feeling, I don't know how it was going to come together. And I think that's the biggest thing I've learned about life. You know, it's like you have to trust the process, and you have the idea, and the middle is messy. The middle is planned yet unpredictable. The middle is bonkers. The middle has too many variables and it's just bonkers. And then you have a good outcome, right? And that outcome is very rewarding. And that outcome allows you to keep going. And the outcome was to do a good show in Houston. And I felt like I owed it to myself as well. And I know I have some good friends. They're like, Michelle, you don't like you did it. You don't owe yourself. You don't need to put that pressure on you. You don't owe anyone another event in Houston or wherever. But I just have this feeling that I owed Houston, I owed myself another event. Um, Another driving force was someone told me I can't do events. And I took that personally. I took that very personal. And I actually went into this thinking I may need to step down from ALMA just because things have been so cloudy for so long. And it's like, and I have these plans, and these plans don't go the way they're supposed to go, especially personally. And it just becomes really, really hard. And it's like, okay, there's someone else that can be a better leader. What does that look like? Who is that person? And let's have a discussion. So with me kind of going in the mindset of I'm willing to step down if someone steps up was another driver on having a good event, and just like a last hurrah, like just in case, um, I always want to leave an impression within means, right? I just want to leave a good impression. So with that being said, Marketing for the Culture Summit in Houston, Texas happened May 31st, Wednesday, May 31st to Friday, June 2nd. I would rate this an event an A. And I'm going to explain to you why I rate it an A. I know someone's probably thinking like, well, what would you rate last year's event? And it's hard. I would probably say somewhere between a C plus and a B minus. And the thing is, the day of the event was really good, right? But it's everything before and after that. And one thing I told my team, I believe I told my team this, and I realized this as more and more time goes on. We say events, we say all these things, but lots of times you're in a different business than what you decide to be in. And yes, it's events, but it's really making sure that people have a great user experience. And for people to have a great user experience, you have to understand the logistics behind your event. Everyone wants to have fun, but do you really understand the logistics, the behind the scenes in order for you to have fun, or in order for people to have fun if you're the event organizer? And that is the tricky part. And there's always room for improvements, but I do think we handle the logistics very well. which allows me to give it an A. So here we go. So there's no ranking to this. I just want to, mention these things in order. Last year, we didn't have any sponsors. This year, we had, I think we had 10 sponsors. We had 9 or 10 sponsors. Major shout out to HP, who was like the title and the anchor sponsor. They really made everything possible that allowed us to have the event. Everyone's asking, well, how did you get HP? All I can say is right place, right time, and I introduced myself, right? And I really been relaying this story in my head, and every time I think about it, I tear up because I think it's divine intervention. And I can't sell you no course on sponsorship. But what I can talk to you about is having an insane belief in yourself as well as positioning yourself, right? And I really feel like meeting an HP leader, that was the window that was cracked. It was the door that was cracked. And I introduced myself and the door opened up. And the thing is, we had our event in Atlanta last year. We had the recap video. We had the details. We had the event recap plus the sponsorship deck with the demographics, psychographics, and all the other details that allow them to say yes and feel comfortable with that yes, right? And I think fast forwarding 12 months, right, from last year up until now, I really understand the positioning, right? I really understand all of the things that happened last year that allow me to be here this year with sponsors, with people to buy in. So a major shout out to HP, just an awesome company. And, I've been using their products for years and it just made sense. Now that I think back of like all of the other people I was trying to woo about Alma and things didn't work out. HP is just a better partner on brand, right? We are marketers, we are strategists, we are entrepreneurs, we are creatives. We have to have a laptop, and I want you to think of HP first when it comes to your digital products. No, excuse me. When it comes to the products you may need for your business, I have an HP. I'm recording this on an HP laptop. I have a HP desktop and probably going to buy another one by the end of the year. So please keep them top of mind when it comes to the needs of your business or career. Next, we have AT&T. Major shout out to Mr. Stein. And that was a mutual friend that connected us. And, in the midnight hour, they came through. So I appreciate it. Special shout outs to Dystopia. That was also through a mutual connection. And if you're a podcaster, you definitely have to check out Dystopia. They are a Black-owned podcasting hosting company. They are a Black-owned podcasting hosting company, and I plan on switching this podcast over to them. I think it's amazing. I know there's a lot of established brands, and not a lot of them, but quite a few established brands in this area. So for these men to take on the charge, I commend them. So if you're a podcaster, audio or video, please check them out. Please support them. They're reasonable, just like everyone else, $9 to $20 a month, depending on what you decide. And Alma will be making the switch over to them really soon, probably by the end of this month, since the event is over. Special shout out to Dragonfly Editorial. They've been rocking with us from the beginning. Thank you for attending the event. LR training, if you need Google Analytics training because of the recent update, check them out. Brand and Culture, thank you for the highlight. Houston Rockets, they gave us bobbleheads, which was pretty cool. BID Creative did the AMA logo. Line 25 Consulting, that's my company. Level 3 Consulting Marketing for the Facebook ads. Onward Search, if you are a creative looking for a job, especially if you're outside of the Texas area or maybe Houston, definitely check them out. They are a staffing agency and they are expanding. So not just marketing creative, but like if you're into gaming, illustrations, things of that nature, like any type of creative, definitely check them out. It's worth a shot. True Love Studios, great photography. Thank you. Twice Media Productions, great video. Thank you. All right. So we have sponsors this year. That is a blessing. That is a blessing. They took care of us all the way. They allowed us to have some hot meals. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We ate good. We ate good at the event. One thing about me, I'm definitely a meat and potatoes girl. I've always been that way since I was young and going to church. I'm like, let's just get to the sermon. So I knew our programming was solid. Our speakers, the topics, the panels, all of that was good. This year we had breakout sessions. I think last year we had nothing but panels and maybe 3 workshops. This year we had 4 breakout sessions, I think 4 panels and a keynote. So having breakout sessions in itself speaks to the growth. A major shout out to all of our speakers that did breakout sessions because they were from out of town. So we had North Carolina, Michigan, Maryland, and Atlanta. And, we're a nonprofit, so we don't pay our speakers. We're not in a position to cover anything regarding speakers and travel. So for those professionals, those speakers to really believe in what we're doing, and some of them got recommendations. They were encouraged to apply or to accept the speaking opportunity. I'm so grateful, so grateful. And that was a tough decision, and maybe that's something I can explore in a future podcast, as far as like lessons learned, maybe. Let's see. We started a little bit late. But we got on schedule pretty quickly and we finished on time. I think overall we just had great energy in the room. We had the music playing. We had conversations going. We had breakfast. We did some speed networking early in the morning as well. I think around 10:30, between 9:30 and 10:30, which I think just really allows people to break the ice early on. Actually, let me go over the program. Excuse me. All right, so here were some of the topics. We started at 8:45. The first breakout session was the business and branding track. We had what brands and marketers can learn from Versus with Nicholas Love. As soon as he emailed me, I was like, this is the topic. Let's go. Branding is like dating with Nikita Pope. You probably heard her on a previous podcast episode. So great analogy, a lot of insight. Next, we had speed networking, and then we had the Gen Z marketing panel with the HP interns. Now, this was something that we created on Wednesday night at the reception. Casual conversation, threw out a joke or two. And next thing you know, we're creating a panel with 4 of them. And I just gave them, I was like, hey, you can have about 15 minutes, decide who's going to be the moderator. And then y'all come up with about 5 to 10 questions. Keep in mind, not everyone has to answer depending on the question. So you can kind of pick and choose from there. You can also take questions from the audience. And they have the most charisma. I mean, they had us laughing, obviously, because they were calling us old, but just so much charisma. They took this very seriously. And I mean, it's easy to say that I'm impressed, but the thing is, we had 2 speakers in one session drop that opened up that opportunity for us to create this panel. And I was going to save this for later, but it's one of those things. It's like you can have a plan, you can have a backup plan, but then sometimes you just get to the point. It's like, look, I don't know what else to expect. You know, I already had 3 plans and all of those plans fell through. So for us to put that together was just amazing. And it's like, okay, this is why everything happens for a reason. So shout out to the HP interns, Carson, Alan, Derek, and Rico. Next, we had a breakout session 3, the digital marketing track. We have Facebook ads with Stacy Reed, and then we had email marketing with Sierra C, I believe. I heard nothing. That's another thing. I heard nothing but great things from all of our speakers, all of our sessions. I really like what Sierra did. I think she's a prime example of maximizing your speaking and content marketing strategy, right? So she came in, she killed it. She's recording testimonials on her phone. And then next thing you know, she's creating a reel, right? And she's getting her own video like in real time. And I think that's what I love about our conference as well. And not saying that I think I've seen it more so at other Black events, but not necessarily some of the white marketing events I've gone to. Like people are actively recording sessions, they're creating reels on the spot. Like to me, that's amazing. And I think that's the best form of social proof a marketing association could ask for, right? All right. So after that, we have the PR marketing, maximize your brand visibility panel. Major shout out to them. They all submitted to speak. And we decided to convert that to a panel, and they all said yes. So very, very grateful for that. Next, we had lunch and networking by Chef Yo. She does a lot of Black events here in Houston. Very good, very successful chef. Next, we had e-commerce. I'm local, my money is global. Everyone liked the name of that panel. And that's just something I kind of came up with. I don't know. I was kind of doing some research. I was like, I don't know what to call this thing. Just can't call it e-commerce. And put that together. So we might have a part 2 to that. I got to say this. I wish I said this at the event. One thing that I really, really loved, J.O. Malone. He's the founder of Black Market here in Houston. One thing he said, so he's on the panel and he has Mario. So let me back up. Black Market is a pop-up shop. And they started at the Buffalo Soldiers Museum, I think about once a month, and kind of increased from there. And now they have their own retail space in Pearland. And this brother's still going, right? Still growing. But next to him on the panel, he had Dr. Mario McCoy, the founder of Incomparable, who started selling watches at Black Market and now has is a lifestyle brand and selling bracelets and sunglasses, the whole nine. And then we have Tiffany Townsend from Ship Black on the panel. But you got these two guys kind of started with each other, right? Different visions, but it's like, hey, this is what I'm doing. You belong here. Mario does his thing, builds his brand, et cetera, et cetera. But J.O. pointed out, he's like, hey, my web person, Dana, is in the audience. My video person, Michael, is in the audience. And these people are ALMA members. And it really speaks to the collective. It really speaks to the community, the ecosystem like people are making and sharing money within the organization. And that's the true thesis behind creating a collaborative community. Like we are here, tap in, tap in. That's just something that warmed my heart. Wanted to share. I haven't been sharing it enough. So yeah. Next we have the growth marketing strategies panel. Awesome panel. A lot of insight. And what I like most about this panel, everyone's a marketer, but they worked in a different industry, whether small business, corporate, but they worked with different industries and they were sharing some of the successes they had with campaigns that they created, whether it's for themselves or for their clients. And the last panel we had was time to scale up certifications and supplier diversity panel. I knew this was going to be good. I didn't know how good, but what made it so good was the fact that this is an unknown topic to a lot of people in the audience. So lots of times we want to get these big clients, but we don't know how. And supply diversity is the key on how to work with these big companies such as HP, AT&T. You know, make sure you register with on their website. Make sure you get your business certifications, your minority business certifications, and go through their process. You know, get the email for the RFP. You know, talk to them, go to their events. Whatever, everyone's process is different. But that panel killed it. Like that panel was hot. I don't know what else to say. That panel was hot. And then last but not least was the keynote, Future Ready Marketing by Danielle Jones, North America Consumer Marketing Manager at HP. And listen, this woman shared the slide of HP's campaign strategy. That right there was gold. Like that's all you needed. That was worth the ticket itself. So it was just a really, really good event. You missed out. If you weren't there, you missed out. You really missed out. Okay. So Friday, we have the VIP brunch at Davis Street. And that was just icing on the cake. That was just icing on the cake. I was surprised on how many people haven't been to that restaurant before, which is, you know, a major plus in itself. The food was great, buffet style. So we had shrimp and grits, chicken and waffles, veggies, bacon, eggs, mimosas, chef's kiss. So it was a great event. HP has recommitted for next year. So they told me that Thursday afternoon. So that's what really made Friday the icing on the cake. Yeah, it was just a good event. It was a really, really good event. So the challenges. All right. So this is why it's just the A. Ticket sales. So I'm thinking, you know, we can sell 100 tickets, you know, like folks know what's up. We can sell 100 tickets. It shouldn't. And I think we promoted for about 3 months. We had some great graphics. Shout out to Lee Scribe Designs. He did all of the major graphics, and then we did, me and the team kind of did some basic graphics here and there. We only technically we sold 43 tickets. So we had about 93 people in attendance and we sold 43 tickets. So these are individual tickets. Obviously the sponsors attended, things of that nature. And I just feel like it shouldn't be this hard to sell 100 tickets. And I can be in my feelings, but this is the thing. And people were coming up to me in the middle of the event and they're like, oh, this needs more awareness. And I'm like, I don't know if we need more awareness. We need more conversions. We need more butts and seats. People know about it. Like people really knew about the event. If I think about the month, I'll just say the month of May, right? Because the event was on the 31st, so that's pretty much a full month. But if I think about all of the people that reached out to me the month of May, who are in the marketing space, that asked me about the event, that said they were going to buy tickets. I'm talking about social media messages. I'm talking about text messages, phone calls, networking events, and even some one-on-one lunches and dinners. That right there could have been 10 to 15 tickets, right? 10 to 15 tickets. And that's just people I've interacted with. And then, people on my team are telling me some stuff too. So it's hard. Once again, I have some great friends. They're like, Michelle, you can't think like that. Don't get in your feelings. Da, 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 da. So constantly checking myself, constantly working on that. But it's a great event. And the thing is, when we started showing those pictures and reels, people were like, I missed out. I'm having FOMO. And some people are out of town, right? Which is a whole nother conversation because I'm not holding them to the same regard. But people missed out. Like, that's all I can say. People missed out. And to be honest with you, I think we only sold 7 more tickets compared to what we did in Atlanta, like 7 to 10 more tickets in Atlanta. And Atlanta, we had a bigger budget. We did a few more things differently in Atlanta because it was just different market, new territory. But I don't know. I'm pretty sure we're going to have 100 people next year, though. I'm pretty sure we're going to have 100 people, 100 plus people next year. The real goal was 150, wanted to sell 100 tickets. We sold 43 tickets. We were averaging about 2 to 3 ticket sales a week. And then in May, it was about 3 to 4 ticket sales a week. But got to keep in mind, this is slow, right? Like, you might get a ticket sale Saturday or Sunday, and then another ticket on Wednesday, and then another ticket on Friday, and then another ticket on Tuesday. Like, this is a slow drip of ticket sales. And it's like, oh my God. And then it's like, oh, people are going to the last minute. People are going to the last minute, which is true. So I think the week of the event, we sold 7 tickets. And 2 of those tickets were purchased from one guy who came in from Chicago. So he literally bought his ticket either that Monday night, mind you, Monday was Memorial Day. So he bought his ticket either Monday or Tuesday night. And then he flew in Wednesday and came straight to the reception from Chicago, right? So it's just fascinating how it's just a fascinating process. Also, I was literally getting my hair done on Wednesday afternoon. Someone called me. I was like, okay, cool. Got them a ticket. We had 160 people registered for our kickoff reception. We had a good turnout, about probably 60 to 80, maybe 100 people came through within a couple of hours that we were there. A lot of great networking was done at the reception. But yeah, more ticket sales. But I think also it's just a rude awakening, a lesson for me when it comes to tickets. And it's tough for people as far as the economy and all the other stuff. So 3 speakers dropped within 5 days of the event. So 1 was within the week, and then 2 was 48 hours. And that's what I was kind of mentioning when I was talking about the Gen Z panel and, having a plan and a backup plan. And then it's like, okay, I just don't know what else to do from here. Right. And even if you have a team, it still puts you in a bind because you have your schedule and what you and your team are supposed to be focused on, right? So, for example, once again, Monday, Memorial Day was a holiday. We lose a business day. Won't do that again. So Tuesday, we are meeting up to put our swag bags together, right? Tuesday morning. And I do got to say my phone be tripping. My Android be tripping sometime. Android/T-Mobile be tripping. So I could have got one message Monday night, but I didn't get it until Tuesday morning. So technically, Tuesday morning, I'm at the venue to put our swag bags together. I was the first one there. And I get two messages, and the speakers have backed out, right? And it's just one of those things where it's like, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm disappointed, maybe even slightly angry, but I got to focus on the task at hand. Plus, I have people coming to help me. We all need to focus at the task at hand. And that's the hard part when a speaker drops last minute. I probably just do a whole nother recording when it comes to speaking. And things that I've realized as a speaker and now as an organizer. So I'll probably knock that out next week. But yeah, it's really tough when a speaker's drops. And I think another thing is people look forward to certain speakers and definitely certain topics, right? So you're not hurting me. Well, yeah, you are, right? You're hurting me. You're hurting the event. Let me back up. You're hurting me as the organizer because you're putting me in a bind where it's making it impossible to find a replacement within 2 days, whatever that replacement may be. But you're hurting the attendee because even if they don't know you as a person, they're probably looking forward to that topic. Like we led a lot of our marketing around ChatGPT and business trends, based off of the topic that was submitted to us in that title. That was the primary driver when it came to our marketing. So fast forward, you get the surveys back and people are like, how can you have a marketing event and not talk about ChatGPT, which is the hottest marketing trend right now? And it's tough. It is really tough. And it feels like a disservice to the attendees because that's what we've been marketing. But it's not our fault. And life is happening to everyone. And unfortunately, we weren't able to deliver that topic to the attendees. There were some alternatives that were thrown out, but, unfortunately, nothing came of it. So I'll apologize. If you attended Marketing for the Culture Summit, I do apologize for that. We had 3 speakers drop, and if you were looking forward to hearing from that speaker or that topic, I do apologize. But because of the time, we were just not in a position to find another speaker to cover that topic. So yeah. Let's see. Okay, overall logistics. I think we did a good job with logistics. We had at least 1 hour to set up. We had to be at the building 7:00 in the morning. That's actually the day of the event. Friday morning, I had some personal things come up, so that shifted everything. And I understand everyone did the best they could, which, hey, it is what it is. Wednesday, I was late to the kickoff reception because it started raining and, so there's those things. I think I handled all of that well, whether it was myself or other people that were running late. But I think next year we're going to push the start date back to allow people a little bit more grace, a little bit of time to get there because 7:00 is early, plus traffic, and then just overall setup. Sometimes you just have glitches setting up stuff. It is what it is. Another thing is the head count. So once again, I had a goal to sell 100 tickets, to have 150 people in the room. And this pains me. we, the association, but I'm in control of the finances, just wasted a lot of money or spent a lot of money because we didn't reach our head count. And although I adjusted our numbers in some areas, I didn't adjust our numbers enough, and I didn't adjust my numbers across everything. And if I adjusted those numbers, I feel like I probably could have saved maybe $3,000 to $5,000, and that would have been amongst the food, swag bags, some swag items in general, just to be honest with you. But so, for example, if I'm wanting 150 people to show up, although I dropped the number down, I really should have dropped the number down to 110. We'll just say 110. So that's 40 people. And if a plate of food is, we'll just say $25 a plate, that's a lot of money. So let's see, 40 times 25, that right there is $1,000, right? And it's the same thing for some of the swag items, from the conference bag and some other things. So probably would have saved about $2,000 to $3,000 if I just dropped the head count. But it's hard to gauge that in the sense that people want timelines, right? So for the lunch, for that head count, she wanted the final count 30 days before the event. And I think at that time, we had only sold like 20 tickets. And it's just like, what do I tell her? It's just really, really hard. Like the head count and the logistics is really hard when it comes to making these decisions when the other person, the other company needs a 14 to 30-day notice. On top of that, shipping cost. I did my best trying to avoid last minute things. But once again, there's variables in this process. And, like, oh my, it's just, it's ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah. Just head count, shipping, probably exceeded that. I don't even know what to say. But if I can't even say if things were planned better, I think things were planned on my end, but lots of times you're just on other people's timelines, and that can swing in so many ways, right? And what happens is once you start running against your timeline / deadline, now you're paying for expedited products, expedited shipping. Like I mentioned, I could have reduced the number of our swag bags, which I really should have because that was one of the last things I've ordered. But then I ended up paying $220 for shipping. So it can get here, quote unquote, on time. It got here. So Monday was a holiday, lost a business day. So it got here on Tuesday, but mind you, we're already Tuesday morning, we're at the venue, putting the swag bags together, right? So I come home and our conference bags are together. So what do we do? On Thursday, the day of the event, it's like, all right, put this bag in another bag. Just drop it in there. Don't transfer the products. Just put this bag inside this bag and hand it to them. And it kind of creates double work, which is, a logistic issue. But it is hard to think of everything. And there's going to be things that slip through the cracks. But yeah, so this is why I give the event an A. So what's next? There's a lot of things going on with me. I actually start working. I'm going to start working. I'm going to have a full-time job. I start on Wednesday, June 21st. So I'm really excited about that. I do think with this new job, it's just going to allow me to change my focus, my mindset on how I address a lot of things, because the past 18 months has been really, really, really challenging. But I do think Alma should go up from here if my personal load is lighter. We are going to reinstate membership fees. So if you're on our newsletter, you should have got that email on Friday, June 16th. So membership fees will start at $149, I believe, on Monday, July 17th, if I'm not mistaken. So we are in the process of revamping things. I will do another email and episode focused on the membership fees and the reason why and what happened and all of those things. I want you to know we are working behind the scenes for you. We are looking for new board members as well as board members and committee members. We are in a great position right now, but we have to grow. In order for us to grow, we need people to help build and move the machine. Please keep in mind, we're only 4 years old. We are still young. We are still vibrant, but there's a lot of work that has to be done in it, and we need people to do that. So if you believe in what we're doing and you believe your skill set will be a benefit, we need you. Please reach out to us. And everyone doesn't have to be a so-called marketer, right? We need various creatives that can contribute. Maybe you work in HR, but that's something that can transfer over to membership, right? Renee does a good job with that. We just need help. We need help, and everything's worth the conversation. So yeah, man, that's what it is. I just want to thank you. I want to thank each and every one of our attendees. I'm so grateful for you believing in the organization, believing in the brand, investing in yourself as well. The feedback has been phenomenal. The social media posts have been amazing. Like, this is another thing, like the power of social media. Shout out to Nova. She was one of our VIP attendees. You know, she came home Thursday, did some great stories, and, you know, someone enjoyed her story so much that they bought a ticket to the VIP brunch the next morning, paid full price. And I mean, that's an amazing story. I'm giving you the short version. But to me, that's amazing. You know, one of our speakers paid for her interns to attend the event. A young girl just graduated from TSU in May, but she attended the event, and then she was able to establish an interview with HP, right? So there are powerful things that are happening in the community that I'm so grateful for. And we will continue to share that good news with you and really cultivate a positive membership base. But I know we have a lot of work to do as far as the leadership team to do that. But yeah, I'm available. So if you have any questions, please send me an email, michelle@aa-ma.org, or you can shoot me a message on LinkedIn. Remember, I believe in you. Thank you. Thank you for listening to Marketing for the Culture podcast. If you haven't already, please subscribe, whether it's on Apple, Google, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform. And of course, our videos are on YouTube. If you have a moment, feel free to give us a rate, review, or just comment. We appreciate our sponsors for their continuous support. Also, if you're interested in learning more about our sponsors or becoming a member of the African American Marketing Association, visit aa-ma.org.